Hey guys, Saf here with another Raid Shadow Legends video. So we have this Lunar Deck of Fate event that started yesterday. I was going to do a video on it yesterday, but I was pretty tired out after doing a lot of the free-to-play grind. Now, I had thought when we had the Pumpkin Deck of Fate that we had managed to kill off this style of event with all the negative response that we gave to it. Just because the event model was pretty poor. For those who have just started playing the game and haven't seen this type of event before, the way it works, you get a deck of cards, sort of like, 40 different cards here that you have to flip. You need lanterns to flip a card, and you get lanterns depending on the different types of events. In this particular one, it is about getting artifacts and accessories, aka dungeon divers, and we also have upgrading champions, which is effectively champion training. These are the two areas you can earn lanterns. So you flip a card and you can get a random reward from that card. Each reward is based on 3 rarities, and if you flip the same 3 rarities back to back, that's the important thing and the most problematic thing with this model. If you flip the same rarities back to back, you get bonus rewards. So we can see the total reward pool. We've got 17 common cards, 13 rare cards, and 10 epic cards. So that basically means you've got at most 3 of the epic bonus rewards that you can get if you pull 3 epic cards back to back. But remember, you have to do them consecutively. So if you go epic rare, epic rare, epic rare the entire way through, you'll never be able to get a triple unlock. It doesn't remember that you've opened 3. So what you would need to do, and keep in mind here when you look at it, is everyone who gets to 40,000 points will get all of these rewards here. All of these rewards in this list are behind one of the cards in various different factors. So it could be that gems are split amongst different common cards, but in total there should be 300. If you manage to get a triple flip, you can get one of these rewards. Now, on the free-to-play series, I have managed to get about 5,000 lanterns so far, and I got lucky and I managed to flip 3 of these rare chests, these rare cards. So I got one of these rewards. Now, unfortunately, I got the 5-star Chaos Ore, which is pretty trash for my free-to-play account. Gems would have been awesome, a Void Shard would have been awesome, any other reward, even the 6-star Chaos Ore would have been better than the 5-star Legendary. The 5-star Legendary is probably the least valuable reward here for my free-to-play account, but I did get that kind of flipper card. Now, we have to look at this reward by basically ignoring these rewards because there's no guarantee you're going to get these. The biggest problem with this event model is the fact that all of the good rewards, all of the premium tasty rewards are stuck behind a second layer of RNG. The first layer is, what do I get out of the card? The second one is I need to flip the rarity. The third one is I need to flip the same rarity 3 times. Then I get to roll a good reward. And the rewards in this epic pool are the best rewards in the game, right? 500 gems is a lot of gems. A legendary book is, 14,000 points worth of training. You've got a tier 3 Eternal Soulstone. That's months of grind if you do it the traditional way, which is doing Iron Twins and Hydra. Sacred Shards. So it's worth it if you can flip the epic, but flipping the epic is almost impossible because of the way that the system is run. You have to get really lucky. I've looked at the event info. It works similar to the way the Heroes Path, if you did the recent Heroes Path, you basically get contributions based on where you work. It's kind of like a hybrid multi-event system. Compared to the Heroes Path, this particular lantern event, you basically get more lanterns for divers than you would typically get in a Hero's Path, and you get slightly less training points than you would typically get in a Hero's Path. But there's only 40,000 total lanterns you need to complete this, so typically a Hero's Path is almost like double or triple the amount of points you need. So there's kind of a balance in fact here. So that's how the Deck of Fate event works. Now, as I said, the problem with this event is this RNG nature of flipping 3 in a row. I could flip 3 different cards here and get 3 different rarities, and I could basically do the entire event and never get a pairing. The probability is I will get at least maybe 1 of the common pairings, but the likelihood of me getting 3 epics out of 10 back to back is actually quite low, but it can happen. So what you will find, there are people who will be able to do this event and walk away with maybe a couple of legendary books. They might walk away with 500 gems, and then there will be other people who basically walk away with silver or something pointless. You could easily get silver out of here. So the wide variance in terms of investment versus reward is what I dislike about this event. However, there are some positives to note. The reward pool is better than the pumpkin rewards. So Jen Nettles on Reddit put a post up to basically show the difference between the pumpkin Deck of Fates event that we've got and the events, the sort of rewards we've got in this Lunar Deck of Fates. And you can see that the old flip rewards was way worse. You know, we're talking, if we look similarly, you get less silver, but there is almost double the amount of gems in this new Lunar event. There is more rewards in total. You know, we've got an extra 5 reward pool items here. We've got glyphs in this new one. We didn't have glyphs last time. We have got, let's see, a void shard and ancient shards behind the flip cards, which is guaranteed that you're going to get that if you do your 40,000, right? That's where you've got to think. If I'm doing 40,000 lanterns, I will get everything in these flip rewards. We've got tier 1 soulstones. Not crazy, but okay. Similar potion levels, about about the same multi-battles. We've got 4-star glyph. We've got a sort of XP boost here. So the rewards here are better. We get more gems, some soul coins, some soul essences, and we get a void shard. So for the same amount of investment, they've at least improved the flip rewards. In terms of the 3 in a row, we can see they're kind of similar, but we have replaced some of the more what I would call less desirable premium rewards, right? We've got rid of the Feast in the Barrel and the 5-star chicken. We've replaced it with a tier 3 soulstone and silver, which is actually not bad that they've reduced the reward count by 1 because there's less variance. There's more likely you're going to get something better, right? Most people would not want the barrel, probably wouldn't want the feast. The 5-star chicken would be okay, but those 3 are probably a lot weaker when you compare it to the gems or the legendary book or the sacred shard. The chaos ore is subjective. I personally value them quite highly because they can turn a bad piece into a godlike piece. Other people would say it's not worth it compared to a legendary book. That's up to a personal opinion, but definitely the barrel and the feast I would say is quite low value. In terms of the tier 2 rewards here, well, you can see we've got a tier 2 soulstone. We've replaced the brews for that. That's good. 30 brews is not really a crazy reward these days when we get so much from the clan boss and so much from daily logins and stuff like that. 30 brews is nothing. Tier 2 soulstone, that is very good. We've kept the epic book, we've kept the chaos ore, we've kept the void shard, and then we've got rid of that 4-star chicken. So again, we've reduced the reward possibilities, which means that there's more probability I'm going to get something valuable. Again, a 4-star chicken, I can make a rank 4 champion in like 2 seconds in my end game account. Obviously for an early game account, my free-to-play would love that 4-star chicken, so it varies. In terms of the sort of uncommon comparison, again, we've substituted the brews for a tier 1 soulstone. I think that's a pretty good substitution. Souls can really make a difference to your champions. It can add a lot of damage. It can progress your clan boss. It can be you're going to get more value out of a soul than you're going to get from 10 brews. The chaos ore remains, the silver remains, we've lost the energy, and we have the 50 gems. So that's probably the only negative there. So they've reduced the quantity of possible rewards in the 3 in a row. They've increased the quantity of the flip rewards, so you get more base reward out of it. And they've also improved the quality of those flip rewards. We're getting glyphs, we're getting void shards, we're getting tier 2 essences, and we've lost a lot of the other things like the brews and different things that were low value. So does that mean this event is worth going for? Let's break down the actual math in terms of how much energy you will need to achieve 40,000 lanterns, which is the required amount of lanterns to flip every single card. So by now, if you've seen any of my hero path analysis, you will see some similar screens and similar math to this. I've updated this now for the rates that you get from the lanterns. They are slightly different to the heroes path divers contributions. You get more from the dungeon divers aspect. So I've mapped out the individual reward count for the lanterns based on a 4-star to a 6-star artifact based on rarity and legend. This is generally because most people, if they're doing this, will be looking at sort of stage 16 to 25 as a dungeon farming option. We can map out the individual reward odds for each individual stage and each individual artifact here, and that will give us a sort of average contribution of lanterns per stage. And then we can work out how many lanterns are we going to get on average per stage there at the bottom. So we can see stage 16 gives us 40.6 lanterns on average. Stage 20 will give us 46.1. 24 will be 48.1. And then 25 is 48.6. But obviously each stage costs more energy. So the most energy efficient stages are 16 and 20 in terms of the average lanterns per energy. And we can map that into this view here and then go, if we only did the dungeons, we completely forgot about any form of training, how much energy and how many runs would we need to do to be able to complete the 40,000? So I put it in sort of 10,000s here, which is basically 10 flips of a card. So we can see that if you just want to do 10 cards, you need to do around about 217 stage 20. That is the most energy efficient stage apart from stage 16. If you go up to sort of 40, if you want to complete the entire event, if you just do dungeons, you're looking at somewhere between 13,795 energy to around about 13,868 energy. We do normally do a comparison with Dungeon Divers for in terms of like a 4,500 points. To be honest, it's not really easy to do a direct comparison anymore because of the variation in results and rewards that you get. These events, the more you invest into them, the Hero's Path and the Deck of Fates, the more energy it costs. It's always going to cost you more than a standard Dungeon Divers. Well, training is a little bit more complicated because obviously there is elements involved such as partially leveling food. How many food you take them to rank 6, you take them to rank 5. What I like to do when I'm comparing this, I like to look at it as two paths. Either I'm making rank 6 champions or I'm making rank 5 champions. Either I'm upgrading my champions as a training element to make myself more champions I want to use in teams, or I'm just making food in preparation for champions I'm going to acquire in the future. And the most energy efficient way to do this is the latter, making food. If you make a rank 60, it's going to be less efficient, although not dramatically so. So I've mapped in the point requirements needed to upgrade. You know, we get 2 for level 2, 4, 5. A rank 6 gets 14 per level there. We get total levels. I'm assuming that you're going to partially level a rank 4 to level 14 before you feed them, and partially level a rank 5 to a level 25 before you feed them if you're going to make a rank 6. Partially leveling rank 4 and 5s is where I like to put it. Some people will say to be super efficient, you can go rank 3s to like level 9, but I find that's just too much arduous labor. 14 and 25 for rank 4 and rank 5, I feel like is a good benchmark. And you do pick up a lot of lanterns for partially leveling the food. It's worth doing. What that translates to then is, in order for us to get the full event completed, if we were making a rank 6, we'd need to make 1.61 rank 6. So you'd need to make more than a single rank 6 champion. Or if you were just making food, you'd need to make about 8.21 rank 5 champions. That's assuming you're going to take champions from rank 2 to rank 3 to rank 4 to rank 5 and then partially level the rank 4 and rank 5s. We can work this out by basically knowing how many XP we need. I've done all the math here to basically translate all the numbers. There may be some discrepancies here or there around in, so you might be a little bit less, a little bit under. What you can also do when you're doing campaign farming is obviously you will get Dungeon Divers as a additional bonus from farming that campaign. What we know about that means is we can basically map in the additional chances for a rank 3, rank 4, and rank 5 artifact. Or if we're doing 12-6 Nightmare, we could even go to rank 6. But generally 12-3 Brutal is going to be better overall because of the pace that you can run it at the time. And also not many people like to farm 12-6 Nightmare unless you want more time. What that means is when we account for an XP boost, we're not accounting for the raid card, we're just accounting for the XP boost. In order for you to make a single rank 5 from a level 2 to a level 3 to a level 4 to a level 5, you need around about 3.35 million XP, which on 12.3 translates to around about 129 campaign runs. Due to the 129 runs, we can basically work out how many additional lanterns you're going to gain on average from the odds of dropping those different artifacts, and it works out around about 2,000 lanterns that you get bonus additional. So we can bring down that 8.21 requirement to around about 5.79, or just over 1 rank 6 if you're doing a rank 6 champion. So how does that work out in terms of energy required to be able to do it from training? If we want to complete the event fully and we are doing it in campaign, it will be around about 5,991 energy to be able to make all of those champions on that efficient path that we've been talking about. If you want to make a rank 6 champion instead of food, it would be about 6,607 energy, so it's about 700 more energy. And then if we weren't factoring in the additional bonuses from the Dungeon Divers from that campaign run, it's about 8,491, but obviously we are going to do it. Now, if you only want to do half of the event, then obviously we can just halve the numbers. It's around about 3,000 energy. And I would argue, based on these numbers, 3,000 energy if you're doing training. So like for my free-to-play account right now, all I am doing is really training. So I'm gaining bonus rewards on top. It's actually not going to be a terrible event, because you're going to gain a fair amount of lanterns. You're going to probably reach on average 20 flips, 20,000 lanterns if you're not really pushing that hard. And you could easily walk away with a legendary book potentially. Or you could walk away with just some energy, some speed glyphs. There are benefits even in the non sort of just the flip rewards that you would actually want for that amount of energy that you need to contribute. Now, the other view that some people have asked me is, how efficient is Dragon 20 food farming, running a solo champion with 4 food, versus campaign running? Is it better to run Dragon 20 with food, or is it better to run campaign? So I've pulled the numbers in here, and I've looked at the math as well. So I've pulled the numbers in from the Dragon 20 champion farming. You get around about 23,920 XP from a Dragon 16 run if you have an XP boost enabled. No raid card, no other benefits. We're not accounting for the Forge Pass here. We're just talking the standard XP with the ×2 bonus. That goes up to 28,908 for stage 20. You don't gain any more XP from doing 24 or 25. Energy remains the same for 20 and 24, but the artifact will change in terms of drop rates. But the actual XP you get is about the same for 20, 24, and 25. Again, we put in the number here for the amount of rank 2 to rank 5 experience we require, which is 3.35 million, which means on average we need about 116 runs to make a single rank 2 to a rank 5 champion. If we then factor in the odds of the artifact drop rates from the different stages, we can then map in how much bonus lanterns you will get from the divers points contribution, which is around about 5,500 depending on different stage. You can see stage 20 is the least efficient in terms of lanterns. You can see that stage 16 is the most lanterns, and then stage 24 is sort of in there with stage 25. So you can see for stage 20 we need slightly more rank 2 to rank 5, 3.9. The rest are 3.8. Obviously we can't make 0.8 of a champion. These are just mathematical averages that we're working out, so you'll need to factor that in. It probably means you don't quite need to reach the rank 5. So in terms of the energy required to make a single rank 2 to rank 5 in Dragon, we're talking 2,089 at stage 20, 2,089 at stage 24, 2,320 at stage 25, and 2,244 at stage 16. But we obviously need to make those things, so we need to run it a certain amount of times. So in reality, we need to run around about 440 to 530 Dragon runs. And the stage that actually comes out the best in terms of the energy is stage 24. Stage 24 returns the best because it gives you the best drop rate for artifacts. You get more lanterns from the divers contribution, but it is not so different from stage 20. Stage 20 is 8,171, and then obviously stage 24, stage 25 and stage 16 are the worst ones to run, but that is still quite a lot more energy than if you were just running campaign. Now, if you're doing the Dragon tournament, you want to try and win that Dragon tournament, then obviously you can dip into that first, get your fragments, or try to win it. That's your choice. But in terms of the most efficient way to get lanterns, campaign 12-3 farming, making food champions, ranking the rank 4s to 14, the rank 5s to 25 will be the most energy efficient way to complete this event. With all that information put together, what is my opinion in terms of should you go for this event? I think you should play the game how you want to play the game. If you're doing the Dragon tournament because you need the Pythian fragments, then do the Dragon tournament. If you need to do some champion training, then do some champion training. If you don't care about any of those and you've got excess energy, then I would consider putting some into this event because you never know, you might get something good. It is not the best event in all honesty in terms of like the best odds of getting good gear, but it's going to last for 4 days. So you've got a very good amount of time to be able to get quite a lot of card flips here. Many people might just play this without even considering it. You'll end up with around about 15 to 20,000 lanterns and you can just flip it. And if you end up getting a bonus reward, great. You invested very little to get a big return, especially if you had to do that Dragon tournament altogether. I'm personally going to probably go and get the 40,000 just because I'm on my main account. I don't really have anything to focus on right now. I've done the Pythian fragment fusion and it's always good for me to have a bit of food backlog in case I need to do a burst or anything of that nature. And I'm quite curious to see how my luck goes with sort of 40,000 flips. You can see I've already got to 6,283 and I haven't played my main account that much at all. I've done a little bit of Dragon just to get to the anniversary tokens, and that is about it because my focus has been on the free-to-play series. So let me know in the comments below, guys, what do you think of this updated Deck of Fate cards? Are you actually going for it? Obviously the model needs improvement still. I still have said from the day one, these 3 flips should be not consecutive. If I open a rare, then I'm building up towards 3. Once I hit my 3 rare, I should be able to unlock it. And even if that means you have to drop the quality of rewards here so that instead of this being a legendary book, it's an epic book, that's fine. I don't mind if the rare is basically the purple here, because at least then everyone is getting a fair shot at some rewards. But basically making this 3 consecutive requirements where you either like kind of cash out big is ultra gambling to the point where it's too far for me for the game. But let me know in the comments below, guys, what you think. If you like this video and you enjoy seeing these math heavy dives into the game, give the video a thumbs up. Consider hitting that subscribe button so that you get future videos that we do on these kind of topics. I always do a patch notes breakdown, which will hopefully be coming out today or tomorrow. And I also tend to do sort of analysis on new systems and champion multipliers when they come out. So we are a bit of a math heavy channel here. But thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.